Good morning. Can you guess where we are? Well, if you've been watching, you probably already know. We're at Glamis, and it's early, and people are still coming in all last night. Pretty empty right now by comparison, but it's only Wednesday. So why am I up so early? Well, I gotta take this bad beast down to the vendor area, and we're gonna make a little visit. We're gonna see these guys. So this is the last time you'll see this car in this form factor. Is that a big deal? No, not really. Just the spring colors will change. I think I'm going to get some other add-ons with it too. But anyway, it's wee hours in the morning in Glamis. We have a light breeze. It's not bad. There's our typical a-hole with his horn on his truck. Camp's looking good. T-shirt weather at 6 o'clock in the morning. Get a chance, check out his channel. It's called Rick Shift. He's a far better editor than I am. You'll enjoy his stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna get some breakfast in me, and we'll take the car down to the vendors, and we'll meet up with Jeep and Ned and those guys, and they're gonna do me up, and we'll get the shocks going on the car. I'll let you know how that goes. All right, we're ready to go down to MTS, get us some shocks. Probably pay a visit to the other vendors while we're there, I'm sure. But looking forward to this. We'll see how it goes. So giving the camera over to my son Ricky so he can follow along on the way over to MTS. The idea is to get kind of a visual on how the original shocks do, and we'll do another video here later on showing how they do after the tune. So just a little disclaimer, I guess, everybody's going to have their favorite tuners, I guess. I've always used MTS. I've had great results with them. The customer service has been fantastic. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get a good tune from somebody else. That's just who I like to use. Because of the varying angles of seeing the car, I'm going to go ahead and let this video run out a little bit in this area because I want you to pay attention to a couple of things I'm going to bring up here in a second. I want you to notice the body of the car. The front stays pretty well motionless. The rear is going up and down a lot. And you can really tell how much the rear is going up and down by how much the flags are whipping front to back. Since the car was new, I thought the front wasn't too bad, but my biggest complaint was about how the back was. The back was harsh, and it did have that buck to it. Going to get another good look here on just how much the back of the car is going up and down. Really illustrates just how much the car is moving more than it should. Even though the ride feels pretty smooth, it's just moving up down too much. So purposely, I'm only going about 25 miles an hour over these whoops. I'm sure a lot of you experienced how, you could take just about any car, if you go fast enough over the whoops, it'll flatten them out for you. And I could do that here too. But by going at a slower speed, well, the goal is to be able to go through the whoops at any speed, right? So going at a slower speed, it really illustrates how the car can kind of get out of shape here. I've had a couple of X3s that the suspension's been really tuned on and everything, and it's been great. But here, this car, you can really tell, even though it's only a couple of inches, you can really tell that it's got a lot more travel, and you can see it here.
What'd you do?
So we got the car dropped off. Curtis here is going to take care of us on getting it all dialed in. Anxious to see how it does. But pretty darn good stock. So even better stock. Excited. Yes, do it up.
Yeah.
This is not riding unless you're working on something. What's going on over here, Noel?
Little bit of Dean improvements.
Suggested improvements. But I think you'll see a difference.
I do believe so.
He's just working on his preload and take the car out for a ride after that. Like I say, you ain't riding if you ain't fixing.
That's right. If you ain't doing this, you ain't working on nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
3 hours later.
Okay, so obviously we went back over to MTS after the car was done, and just kind of showing you we're all stickered up now. Look at the reservoir end caps. We got rid of those little bladder rubber deals there and got some actual Schrader valves on there, so a lot easier to check and add nitrogen to these things. But Silver Springs, nice accent. It looks a lot better, I think. Okay, paid my money, got my car out of the hot shop, so to speak. So yeah, MTS dialed it in, all new springs, all new valving, reservoir caps, full shebang. So looking for how it's going to do. It does pretty good stock out of the box. I mean, way better than the X3 out of the box. So it's going to be exciting to see how well it does now. So we're going to take it out now. We're going to hit some stuff and try to get it out of shape. See how it feels. Okay, immediately you can see how the car is settled down now. Watch right here. Look how stable the rear end is as far as going up and down. It's way better already. Okay, so like before, I'm going to let this video run out a little bit here so you can kind of see all angles. Also, like before, we're going to keep it around 25 miles per hour just so we can compare apples to apples. So I'm noticing the overall car being more stable, and what I'm also seeing when I watch the wheels is the wheels are dropping out more as opposed to the car following the wheels. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is the same area as the previous part of the video. The car is just a lot flatter. So I'm kind of focusing my eyes right now on the right rear tail light, and as I focus on that, I'm just not seeing a lot of movement going on. It's really kind of crazy. This is the same path we took over to MTS. So here we're getting close to camp, so I decided to pick it up a little bit. I think I'm doing about 35, maybe in the 40s, and the car is just riding really great. So were you able to keep up with me to get some filming, or
For the most part, until we kicked it up at the end,
Yeah.
my car was getting out of shape and I just could not catch up.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So first impressions, I mean, all we did was just a whoops going down Wash Road here. As you saw, we just did the MTS suspension, full thing with the valving, pistons, springs, everything. So here's my first impression. The car's way softer. The back especially is way less harsh. I was pretty satisfied with the front before. The front's even softer now. The back is still firm enough so you're not going to G out, but the harshness is gone. Going through the settings, it has not nearly as much rebound dampening the front, so you feel the bottom, you feel it dropping out. And the dropping out in comfort mode is, if you're going on whoops and so on, can be kind of harsh. You put it up in sport mode, of course it dampens that some, and it's even more dampened if you put it in Sport Plus. That being said, I can run this thing in Sport Plus and still feel the cushness with the resistance of bottoming out. I don't know how the car looked from your vantage point, but it felt pretty smooth, never out of control whatsoever. But one thing I highly recommend, because with any tunings I've ever been experienced, they soften with the rebound on the front. Need limit straps on the front. I would have got them this time, they were just out right now, but that is going to be on the very short list, is putting limit straps on the front because of that shock extending out. Even with the smart shocks, it doesn't slow it down enough to keep that from clunking. It's not clunking hard right now, but it's clunking enough to be an annoyance. But yeah, I can't wait to do it and see how it does. Before, if I put it in Sport Plus, it was just so harsh, it just beats you up. Now I can put it in Sport Plus, have that resistance, and it takes all the edges off all the bumps. So we'll take it out tuning later, and we'll let you know how it feels from there. Here's a little playing around at Oldsmobile Hill with me and a buddy Sean in the car. Just us two alone. We're pushing 550 pounds a passenger. And remember, I've got that tire rack on the back. That thing weighs about 75 pounds. And I got tools and another gear and the boxes. So we got a lot of weight going on this car that not all of you will have. So I was just playing around the dunes, a couple of big guys in the car. It's really hard to show on film how the suspension goes, except for, back with that footage of the whoops there. After a while, you just get kind of acclimated to how good the car rides, and not realizing how much smoother it is, you're just going faster. So out of the hill, we came across this guy. He was filming for Hoonigans, and we just had to compare camera sizes. So here I am driving my buddy's yellow Maverick, and I was well reminded on how rough my car used to drive. This thing is really jarring. I mean, it's good out of the box, but compared with the fresh tune, this thing's really jarring me and makes me really appreciate the tune that I got. By the way, this car really rips. He's running a 100 tune in it right now. It's a prototype tune from Evolution Power Sports.